Emma, a sharp law student, was at the supermarket when she noticed three people acting oddly, seemingly eyeing the same package of pasta. Who's up to no good? Take a closer look. The elderly man with a hunched back is hiding the pasta right under his coat. His posture helped him cover the volume of the packages, and he'll probably steal another one. At checkout, Emma sees an older woman trying to buy a cake that costs $30, but she only has $20 in her wallet. The cashier says no, but the elderly woman insists she's still taking the cake home. But how? Well, no need to call security. She's just going to use the digital wallet on her phone. She might be older, but she keeps up with the trends. Back at home, Emma feels like something's off. She starts scanning her porch, trying to figure out if it's just her imagination or if something's wrong. What's out of place? Look carefully. The soil in the plant pot is disturbed. Someone dug through it to find her spare keys, but I guess got disturbed during the search. Emma rushes to her room to cool off, but then she realizes the window is open. She's certain now someone got inside. Can you find out what they've stolen? Take a look at the desk. The mouse and keyboard are there, but the computer screen is missing. She gets closer to check it out and finds a bracelet next to the keyboard with the letter M. The suspect must have left it behind by mistake, and she immediately knows who took her computer. But who was it? Emma has a matching bracelet, but hers has the letter E on it. It's the one she shares with her boyfriend. So it wasn't a robbery. He just probably borrowed her computer. Phew! Emma heads over to her boyfriend's place, and he decides to make things fun with a treasure hunt. Emma's mission? Find her computer screen. The instructions are simple. Take 2 steps to the right, walk straight until you reach the wall, take 2 steps back. Can you guess the location of her computer screen using this room map? That's right, it's hidden under the rug. Careful where you step. Emma heads to the park for fresh air, but she spots 2 pregnant women acting strange. Who's faking the pregnancy? This woman has a cloth sticking out from under her blouse. She's not really pregnant, it's a fake belly. Still suspicious, Emma follows the woman to a nearby store. She watches as the woman picks out some clothes and heads to the checkout. What's she hiding? Notice anything odd? Look at the sign. She's in the priority lane. Looks like she faked her pregnancy just to skip the line and avoid waiting. Emma decides to confront the scammer and asks her, "How long have you been pregnant?" The lady answers, "For 100 days." Now Emma is sure she's faking it. But why? "100 days means she's about 3 months pregnant. So no way her belly would be that big if she's telling the truth." The law student lost track of time and needs to get home as soon as possible. She has 3 transport options: take the bus for $3, grab a taxi for $20, or hitch a ride with a friend on a motorcycle for free. Which one does she choose? The motorcycle ride sounds tempting since it's free, but here's the catch: the tire's flat. So she wouldn't get there as quickly as she needs to. The bus is cheap too, but it'll probably take ages to get home. In the end, she decides to take the taxi. Emma needs to study for a law exam. She opens her notebook and sees that her professor left her 3 riddles to solve. If she figures them all out, she'll get extra points. Can you help her? Here's the first one. I stand for order, not for fight, but cross me wrong and you'll lose the right. What am I? The answer is justice, says Emma. Next one. I decide if someone is guilty or innocent, but I'm not a judge. Who am I? Oh, that's easy. A jury. On to the last one. I saw it all, but kept no score. When asked to speak, I tell what's more. Who am I? And the answer is a witness. Amazing! In college, Emma's professor tells her she'll have to take part in a pretend trial called a moot court to test her skills as a future lawyer. Here's the situation. On a snowy day, a man got hit by a car, and the driver says it wasn't his fault. A witness says the pedestrian light was green. The driver claims he was going within the speed limit, and the victim says he was on the crosswalk. Now look at the scene and answer, who's lying? The victim. The witness was telling the truth because the light was indeed green for the pedestrian. But those footprints in the snow show that the victim crossed outside the crosswalk, so it wasn't the driver's fault. The professor keeps testing Emma and suggests another situation. A lawyer goes to the house of a rich man who passed away. The will clearly states, I leave my fortune to my son Mark and my daughter Anna, with the condition that she must finish engineering school to get her share. Look at the scene and tell me, will the fortune be split between the siblings? Unfortunately, no. Notice the picture on the wall. Anna is wearing a doctor's uniform, which suggests she graduated in medicine, not engineering. So only Mark gets the inheritance. It's time for the professor to hand out the grades from the last exam. Emma's friends are waiting for their results, and he says, whoever's wearing glasses got a D, Maria got a B, and only one girl got an A. So, who got the highest grade in the class? Since the ones with glasses got a D, we can rule out the first and fourth girls. Girl number 2 is wearing a necklace with the initials M, so that must be Maria, who got a B. That means the third girl must have gotten an A. In the evening, Emma decides to try something different and goes with her boyfriend to a dining-in-the-dark experience. Basically, they have to try different foods while blindfolded. The appetizer comes out quickly. Without even looking, she says, I know what this is, but how? Easy. She smelled it. It's blue cheese. So, even with the cover on the plate, she could smell its strong aroma. Now, one of the customers says that while she was blindfolded, someone stole her purse. The crime happened at 7 p.m. A suspect claims it wasn't him because he had just arrived. He even shows a movie ticket as proof. Look closely at the ticket and answer, is his alibi solid? Nope. Because having a ticket doesn't prove he actually watched the movie. He could have just walked in, grabbed her purse, left early, and then gone back to the restaurant. The waiter brings the bill. The total for the appetizer and the main course is $150. Emma checks the cost of each dish and realizes that the main course costs $100 more than the appetizer. So how much is each item? The appetizer costs $25 and the main course costs $125. Ooh, a bit pricey, isn't it? To get into her house, Emma needs to enter a 3-digit code. Since she loves playing cards, she made a password based on that. The first 2 digits are the numbers of cards in a standard deck. The last digit is the number of suits. Can you crack the code? A regular deck of playing cards has 52 cards and 4 suits. So Emma's password is 524.
The day of the inter-school wizard duel had finally arrived. Moonshade Academy was receiving students from the nearby schools when Alex, Mira, and Theo noticed something strange. They had left their wands above a counter in the main hall, but now they were all gone. To compete, they needed to find their wands in under 10 minutes. Take a look at the image and see if you can find any clue about where the wands might be. Well, what about those muddy footprints leading to the potions room? Those look pretty suspicious, so the 3 wizards decide to follow them all the way to the next room. When they arrived, they found a disturbing scenario. The potion cabinet was open and lots of potions were missing. These thieves were planning on cheating their way to the top. There were 3 potions left that could help them find their wands. The first one, with the image of an ear, replayed sounds of the past, so they could hear everything that happened in the room. The second one, with an eye on it, revealed traces of magical objects. The third one, with a dog on it, enhanced the sense of smell, so they could sniff any object they wanted to. Which potion should they use? Let's see. The first one wouldn't help them locate their wands, and the third one would probably be a bit confusing since there were 3 wands to locate. So they should definitely use the sight potion and track the traces of all magical objects moved until they found their wands. The potion led them all the way down to the dungeon where Moonshade students kept their dragons. When they arrived, they noticed that their dragons were super stressed. Actually, Mira's dragon looked like it was about to get sick. Take a look at the image. Can you spot the reason why Mira's dragon is not feeling well? If you have a good eye, you've definitely got this one right. The faint blue trace of the magic potion led all the way to Mira's dragon's belly. There are 3 blue lights shining inside her dragon's belly. These must be the lost wands. The thieves probably hid it in the dragon food and made Mira's dragon eat them to hide them. Yikes! The trio gave Mira's dragon a potion to get their wands out and ran back to the main hall for the start of the tournament. As soon as they got back to the main salon, the headmaster announced that a dangerous criminal had escaped from a high-security prison and was hiding amongst the students. Alex was chosen to identify the criminal. He narrowed the suspects down to 3 people. The first girl was dressed in a scuba costume. She said she had been on a mission to free a mermaid. The second woman was dressed in a dirty wedding gown. She said she had just arrived from a parallel reality where she saved a bride from a terrible villain. The third woman had her school uniform, but it was burnt. She said she was practicing spells and one of them went terribly wrong, so she almost put herself on fire. Can you guess who the criminal is? It's the third woman. She had no wand with her, so she couldn't have been practicing spells. Plus, the uniform is too small. She probably stole it from one of the real students. Then, it was Theo's time to prove his talents. He was left at a crossroads. Before him, there were 3 roads. One led him to a safe town, the second one to a dangerous forest, and the third to a mountain pass full of rocky debris. There were magical beings standing on the entrance to each road, and they could each answer one question. Theo decided to ask them all the same question. He asked them which road led to the safe town. The creature guarding the first path said that if he wanted to reach town, this wasn't the road. The second creature said that that was the road Theo needed. And the third creature said that if he took the first road, he would get lost. Which road should Theo take to get to the safe town? He should take the third road. The last creature was the only one who didn't talk about his specific road, but rather another one. So he should go down the third road to get to the safe town. The next task got a bit more complicated. Mira needed to cross the everlasting sands, a dangerous desert. She had 6 days to do it on camelback, but there was a catch. She could only carry enough food for 4 days and needed to be the sole person to do the complete journey. She could invite other people to tag along and help her, but only for a few days. These extra people could take extra food and share it all amongst them. How many friends do you think she should invite so that there's enough food for everyone? Let's see. She'll need to invite at least 2 people. Let's say Theo and Alex decided they wanted to tag along. By the end of the first day, they'll have enough food for 9 days. If they ate the equivalent of 3 days of food from Theo's bag, Alex would still have 1 day of food left to head back home and not need to cross the desert. Mira and Theo can continue the crossing with an 8-day food package. At the end of the second day, the total food supply will be reduced to a 6-day package. Now, Theo will have enough food for 2 days in his package, and he can head back home. This will help Mira to finish the 4 last days by herself. Yikes! This tournament is giving me the heebie-jeebies. Now it was Theo's turn to compete. He needed to cross a portal into a dark forest and look for a witch's house. He could only come back after retaining a strand of the witch's hair. After walking a few miles in the dark, he found the witch's house. The witch said she would willingly give him a strand of her hair if he helped her find a hawk's feather that went missing from her cabinet. The witch suspected one of her elves had taken it, so Theo went to investigate the case. Arian said that he was out all day picking berries with the fairies. Elowin said he spent the day at another witch's house testing an anti-aging potion. Ilaria was sorting out the bad herbs from the garden and didn't notice anything weird going on in the house. Theo immediately knew what had happened. Take a look at the picture. Can you figure it out too? It wasn't any of the elves. Theo noticed that the feather had fallen down and was stuck in a crack on the floor.
Well, welcome to our Find the Odd One Out challenge with 5 difficulty levels, ending with a near impossible genius level round. First up, we have 10 easy challenges. Are you ready? Okay, spot the different banana emoji here. There it is, 3 bananas in total. One of these helicopters won't take off. Can you find it? Of course, it won't take off. It's a fish. Can you locate the single kiwi hiding among these sweets? Look, it's right at the top. Can you find the one donut that's not like the others? Correct. That is a bagel with cream cheese. There is an odd one among these apple emojis. Got an idea? Oops, here is a sneaky peach. Cheese, sunflower, tomatoes, bananas. Which one doesn't belong on the list? The tomatoes. The rest of them are yellow. Can you pick out the unique pineapple? Hey, this one looks like SpongeBob's house. Which of these superheroes is actually a villain? Busted. This sneaky outfit says it all. I'm all set for vacation. Which of these items doesn't belong in a suitcase? The frying pan. It's great for cooking, but not for vacationing. There is a vegetarian pizza hidden in the middle of all that pepperoni. But where? Here is a cheese pizza. Ooh, my favorite. Now we're moving on to the medium level with 10 more tests. Find the avocado that is different from the rest. Uh-oh, this one is missing its pit. So many cherries, but did you spot the odd one hidden among them? This one is a real challenge. There it is, a raspberry. Nice catch. One of these hands looks different. Time to find it. Watch out, this one is telling you to stop. Can you identify the odd cherry emoji? Awesome job, you found it! One emoji here doesn't match a perfect summer vacation. What is this pine tree doing here? It is not the holiday season yet. Which emoji doesn't belong to this sequence? The clock is ticking. Yep, it's the frog. After all, it's not a mammal. Memory challenge. First, pay close attention and memorize the location of each fruit. Ready? Time's up. Can you recall which number the banana was on? Correct! The banana is under number 3. One of these animals doesn't quite fit in. Can you spot it? Amazing! A tiger trying to blend in with the lions. There is an avocado hidden in here with these pears. Can you find it? Look closely, it's hiding in the corner. Pencil, pen, marker, calculator. Which one doesn't belong? The calculator. The rest are used for writing. Alright then, let's ramp up to the hard level with 12 challenges. You've got this. An observation test. Find the emoji that shows up twice. Well done! It's the kiwi emoji. Can you spot the odd one out? Where is it? Pay close attention. That person is still in bed. Time to wake up. It is time to spot the odd watermelon emoji. Look, this watermelon is smiling at you. Sharpen your mind with a memory test. Remember all the emoji positions. Now tell me, where is the orange? Correct! It's under number 6. Aw, that's cute. But did you notice something off around here? This little guy doesn't want to leave his shell. Rubik's Cube, soccer ball, dice, gift box. Which one is the odd one? Yes, it's the soccer ball. The rest are shaped like cubes. One of these cookies doesn't seem to taste as good. Can you spot it? There are no yummy chocolate chips on this one. Spot a zucchini among all these watermelons. Not easy. Fantastic! It is right there. Which cat is different from the others? Found it! Meow! Spot the different pomegranate emoji. Wow, there is a spicy radish among these sweet pomegranates. Check out this sequence. What's the odd one? Bingo! The sun is the only one without clouds. One imposter tree doesn't belong to this forest. Can you find it? Look, there is a palm tree hiding in the corner. All right, let's dive into the extremely hard level. 12 challenges to go. Can you spot the odd blueberry emoji? Yep, you got it. It's right here. Memory test with a twist. Pay attention to where each emoji is located. Now tell me, where is the truck hiding? That's correct. The truck is under number 2. Among all these loving hearts, there is a fake one. Look carefully. There it is, a broken heart. Find the one emoji that doesn't belong here. Yay! This 4-leaf clover might just bring you some luck. Can you find a baseball that is different from the others? Nice job! It's right here in the corner. Sheesh, this one is making me dizzy. Can you spot what's off? Right, this emoji's colors are flipped. There is a fruit hidden among these pumpkins. Can you see it? Quick, time is almost up. Correct, it's a juicy melon. Here's another list for you. Guitar, piano, violin, harp. Which one doesn't belong here? It's the piano. The rest are string instruments. Pay attention to this sequence and spot the odd one out. This rebel moon is looking the other way. Boo! Everybody got scared, except one of them. Where is it? Here's our brave emoji, looking chill. Things are getting spicy around here. Find the odd pepper. It's tougher than it looks. There it is, but its stem is still missing. It's time to dive into the toughest challenge of all, the Genius Level round. Think you're up for it? Here we go. What a mess! Can you find the odd fork? Here it is. It's shorter than the other ones. Among all these mouth emojis, there is one that stands out. Can you see it? Exactly. This lipstick is a darker shade. Can you spot which teddy bear is different from the others? This one is looking to the side. What is it searching for? What a happy day! But one of them seems strange. Which one? This is tough. Oh, this little guy's eyes look a bit more open. Memory test, but make it genius level. Remember where all the emojis are. Now tell me, where is the bunny? Yep, this cutie is hidden under number 6. Try to spot the food that doesn't quite fit. Awesome! There is a juicy watermelon among the junk food. One of these basketballs looks different from the others. Can you find it? Impressive! The lines on this basketball look thicker. Time to camp. Can you find our tent? It's a bit different from the others. Take a good look. Woohoo! Now we can have a proper test. Banana, grape, strawberry, apple. Which is the odd one? The apple. The rest are berries by definition, while the apple is not, so there. Find the emoji that is not as desperate for love. Only 2 hearts? Come on, Cupid, give us a hand. Can you spot the emoji that does not match all of the others? Wow, these rainbow emojis look practically the same. All of them have a pair except one. Which one is our lonely emoji? Nailed it! I hope it finds its match next time. What a cool neighborhood! But one of the houses looks damaged. Do you see it? Don't quit! Awesome! Here it is! This one is tricky. Can you spot the odd emoji? Oh no! Where did its eyebrows go? Check out this sequence and tell me which emoji is off. Correct! Tomatoes are not part of blueberry pancake recipes. Time for our final challenge. One of these hands looks different, but I bet you can't find it. This is the final countdown. There it is! You rock!
Andrew and John went to the city. On their way there, they met Jack, and the 3 men decided to travel together. When they took a break, Jack asked his companions to share some food with him. He had 8 coins, while Andrew had 5 loaves of bread, and John had 3 loaves of bread. The guys divided all that bread equally between the 3 of them. After they had a meal, Jack divided the money fairly. How did he do it? Jack gave Andrew 7 coins, and John got from him just 1 coin. The thing is, the men divided each loaf of bread this way, into 3 pieces. Altogether, they had 24 pieces. Andrew had 15 pieces of bread. He ate 8 of them himself and gave 7 to Jack. John had 9 pieces of bread. He ate 8 of them and gave the remaining one to Jack. So Jack gave 1 coin for each piece of bread. 7 coins to Andrew, who had given him 7 pieces of bread, and 1 coin to John for that 1 piece of bread he had shared. Anna was walking home from work when she heard screams coming from a nearby house. She immediately rushed in to help. What a bad idea, Anna. Anyway, she followed the voice and it guided her to a basement. As soon as she walked in, the door slammed shut. Huh, told ya, a very bad idea. 3 portals opened in front of her, but only one led to safety. The first portal was filled with giant poisonous spiders. In the second portal, there was a huge suspended rock that would come crashing down the moment someone stepped in. And in the third portal, there were 7 hungry crocodiles. Which portal should Anna opt for? Anna should pick the second portal. She can throw her shoe inside, wait for the terrible stone to fall, and then escape. Michael was walking along the street when a sealed envelope landed near his feet. Inside, there was a key and a note. Help! 323. Inside the building, Michael found door 323 and used the key to open it. A man, gagged and tied to a chair, was inside. Once free, the man told Michael that 2 men had broken into his office, tied him up, and taken all the money from his safe. Luckily, his hands were free, and he managed to write the note and throw it together with the key out of the window. Michael didn't believe the man and called the police. Why? The envelope was sealed. How could the man do it if he was gagged? Sarah bought some ice cream on Saturday but kept the flavors a secret. When she woke up on Sunday, all the ice cream was gone. She asked everyone in the house if they knew anything about that. James answered he had gone to work early that morning and hadn't seen anything. Mary said she wanted to have a new caramel ice cream in the afternoon. She felt bad she was going to miss it. John didn't even know there was ice cream in the house, but he was looking forward to trying it. Can you figure out who knows something about the missing ice cream? It's Mary. The ice cream flavors were a secret. She couldn't be sure if there was a caramel taste among them. Look at these people very attentively. There's an elderly man wearing a monocle sitting at a table with a plate of expensive steak. At the same time, he's dressed in simple clothing with obvious signs of wear. Then, we've got a businessman wearing an expensive suit, but it has small coffee stains on it. He's eating a simple sandwich. There's also a briefcase full of money next to the man, and he looks slightly dressed. As for this artist, he's dressed in a basic work overall with paint stains. He's drawing on a tablet and there's a plate with a lobster in front of him. On his neck, there's quite a large gold chain. Now the question is, which of these men is actually rich? Even though the elderly man is eating an expensive dish and wearing a monocle, his worn-out shoes and simple clothing suggest he doesn't have a lot of funds. The businessman is indeed wearing an expensive suit and has a briefcase full of money. But the coffee stains on his suit and his untidy tie hint that he may not actually be wealthy. Plus, he's eating a very simple sandwich. He might be cutting corners on personal expenses. As for the artist, he stands out with his gold chain and a luxurious lobster dish in front of him. Combined with his focus on the cutting-edge tablet, it all suggests that he is the wealthiest. Wealthy businessman Jeff walked into his home office one day and realized that his safe was gone. He immediately called the police to find out who had done it, but everyone in the house had an alibi. Amy, Jeff's wife, said she'd been working out at the gym that morning. The cleaner answered that she had been cleaning the basement and hadn't heard anything. The cook told the police he had been in the kitchen all day preparing meals and never left it. The police immediately figured the case out. Can you do the same? It's the cook. He said he'd never left the kitchen, but look, his shoes are muddy. Mary, Jane, Chris, and Sally were on the train. It was only them and the conductor checking their tickets in the car. Without warning, the lights went out. When they switched on again, Sally was missing. Everyone started looking for her, but they only found her phone and one of her earrings. The conductor started asking questions. Mary said she had been in the other part of the car when the lights had gone out. Jane answered that she had been sleeping at the time. Chris said he'd been reading a book and hadn't seen anything. Who's lying? It's Chris. He couldn't be reading if the lights were out. Maya was a talented scientist who researched new species of frogs. She put all the frogs she had in 3 tanks, N, L, and R. The letters on the tanks stood for the conditions in each tank: no light, light, and regular. In the R tank, there were twice as many frogs as in the L tank. One day, Maya removed 7 frogs from the tank on the right and placed half of the remaining frogs into the N tank. Your task is to figure out what the marking letter of the right tank is. Let's think logically. This letter can't be N because Maya put the frogs into the N tank, so it's either L or R. But we should keep in mind that Maya removed 7 frogs and then split the number in half, which means the right tank had an odd number of frogs before she took those 7 out. But we know that there were twice as many frogs in the R tank than in the L tank, which means that the number of frogs in the R tank was originally even. So the right tank must be the L tank. Kelly got into a car accident and lost her memory. When she recovered, she found out that she was a very popular girl at school and everyone wanted to date her. One day, 3 guys showed up in the hospital and each of them claimed to be her boyfriend. Please help Kelly understand who's telling the truth. The clue is hidden in the pictures by Kelly's bed. In the first one, she's with her family. But in the other picture, she's with a guy who looks exactly like the boy on the left. So, he must be her boyfriend. Several police officers were called to a hotel after one of the employees was found unconscious on the floor. The police checked the cameras to figure out what had happened. They had 3 suspects, all of them hotel guests. Sarah said she had heard some commotion and left because she got scared. James told the police that he'd been outside ordering a taxi to go sightseeing. And John said he'd been sleeping at home. Can you understand who's lying? It's John. He was a guest at the hotel. Then how could he be at home sleeping? I've got a bunch of new riddles for you, oh great detective. Concentrate and crack them all like nuts. Look at this picture very attentively. One of these people attacked the artist, but can you figure out who it was? The artist started writing the letter K and then another letter, but he didn't have time to finish it. It seems to be an I, so the culprit could be Kitty. But at the same time, it also looks as if the artist simply didn't have time to finish the letter L, which is another letter that can be confused with I. So, if the injured man tried to write the lower part of the letter L but didn't have enough time to finish it, it could easily be Claude, who attacked him. What do you think? Was it Claude or Kitty? Write your answer in the comments. These people seem to be rather strange, but only one of them is a real vampire. Who is it? All of them are drinking something red, but it might be just some pomegranate juice. The girl on the left has a blood red streak next to her mouth, but it might just be smudged lipstick. The man has weird teeth, but they could be artificial. As for the woman on the right, she must be the vampire. Have you noticed that she doesn't have a reflection in the mirror? This couple is about to get married. What a happy event. But not everything is rainbows and butterflies here. One of the people in the picture is actually an alien. Have you spotted this guest from another planet? It's the bride herself. Look, she's got 3 arms. Continuing with the topic of extraterrestrial visitors, you need to find an alien among these athletes. Can you spot anything unusual about them? The guy on the left must be an alien. He's got 2 left hands. Yikes. Creepy. Now this guy seems to be lost and confused. There are 2 doors in front of him, and both ladies seem friendly. But one of the doors isn't safe to enter. Which one is it? It's the door on the left. This glamorous lady is offering the guy a ride, but do you see that strange decor in her apartment? Especially the skull? At the same time, the second woman looks quite disheveled. But despite her messy appearance, offering food might just be a kind gesture. In any case, a ride with a stranger holds more risk than a simple hamburger. Look at these bathrooms very attentively. Your task is to figure out which of them belongs to a zombie. Well, both bathrooms look kinda disgusting, but a real zombie leaves on the left. Do you see that glass standing on the sink in the left room? The zombie keeps his fingers there. Ugh. We've got 3 Miss School contestants here. They look pretty and all, but one of them is actually dangerous. Which one is it? It's the girl in the pink dress. There's blood on her crown. Another day, another monster. Look at these people attentively and try to figure out which of them is a werewolf. The man on the left is just wearing a mask. It's quite obvious. The lady in the middle might have had some kind of an accident, hence the bizarre blue spots on her body. But the man on the right is literally covered with fur, which he is trying to hide with his clothes, but his true nature can still be spotted. A crazy scientist captured Mark and locked him in his lab to use the guy for his experiments. Luckily, the guy managed to get out of the lab, taking along 3 pills. Each of them worked for 10 seconds. The green pill could provide him with regeneration abilities. The red pill could allow him to become invisible. And the blue pill provided him with the ability to fly. To get out of there, Mark had to pass through 3 rooms. One was guarded by a vampire, the second one was protected by a werewolf, And the third one hosted a maniac with a chainsaw. Which pill should Mark take to pass through each room? Mark needs to take the invisibility pill to get past the vampire, the pill enabling him to fly to get past the werewolf, and the regeneration pill to escape the chainsaw. Simon was stuck at a gas station 50 miles away from the city. His car was broken and could be repaired only by the end of the day. Luckily, there were 3 drivers who were ready to offer him a ride to the city. Look at these people and try to understand which car is safe. The driver in the red car is actually a criminal. The police have been looking for the vehicle he's driving. It must have been stolen. The man in the yellow car must be a criminal too, since he is depicted on the wanted poster on the wall. Only that granny in the blue car is safe to ride with. Maria Walker, a rich businesswoman, collected ancient pieces of art. One day, she managed to buy a priceless Chinese figurine. Maria locked it in a safe in her office and went home. But the next morning, the figurine was gone. Police have 3 suspects, all of them Miss Walker's subordinates. The detective asked each of them if they'd taken the figurine from the safe. Beverly said she hadn't been to the office since Monday. Ralph said that he didn't even know how to open safes and wasn't interested in Chinese art. And Vincent admitted that he'd been to Miss Walker's office after her departure, but he only took some documents he needed. Have you understood who the thief was? It was Ralph. Otherwise, how would he know the figurine was Chinese? Mary was a college teacher. It was the beginning of a new school year and 3 new students joined the class. When Mary saw them, she immediately realized something was off about one of them. What did she notice? The guy in the middle doesn't have a shadow. Logan worked as a security officer on a small cruise ship. One day, during a severe storm, he found Mr. Lewis lying on the deck. When the man came to his senses, he said someone had hit him on the head and had taken his wallet. Logan had 3 suspects. He visited them in their cabins. Linda told him she was feeling queasy because of seasickness. She couldn't even get up from her bed. Denise said she'd been watching a movie on her smartphone. And Philip said he'd been writing a letter to his wife. Logan immediately understood who had hit Mr. Lewis. Do you know? It was Philip. Look at his letter. The handwriting is immaculate. But it's impossible to write so accurately during a storm. Look at these elderly ladies. Both of them have gone out for a walk. At first glance, they seem totally normal. But one of them is actually planning something bad. Can you figure out which granny it is? It's the granny on the right. She's got a file hidden in her knitting basket. Look at this explorer. He seems to be in a tough situation. There are 4 tunnels in front of him. The first one seems to be freezing cold, with some perilous-looking icicles hanging over the entrance. The second tunnel looks outright creepy. A giant shark is in the third tunnel, and the 4th pass is covered with molten lava. Where should our explorer go? He should opt for the first tunnel. Have you noticed a rather well-trodden track there? So this way can't be too dangerous. Kenneth was hungry. He found a nice diner that served burgers and bought one. After a waiter brought him his order, Kenneth went to the bathroom to wash his hands. But when he came back, his burger was gone. The guy looked around the diner and understood who had taken his lunch. Can you figure it out? It's this young woman. A dog is sitting at her feet and sniffing the air. If she was just drinking coffee, which is what she's pretending to do, the dog wouldn't be so interested in her. Inspector Lewis found the footage of a fancy dinner where a famous actress was almost poisoned. He analyzed the video and came to a quick conclusion of who was the culprit. Take a look at the image. Can you figure out who tried to poison the celebrity? The picture clearly shows that the second lady was the culprit. You see, the lady decided to wear gloves so she wouldn't get poison on her hands and poison herself. Besides, if you were to poison someone, you would have to make the food look presentable. And if you take a look at the First Lady's soup, it looks pretty terrible. Alex needed to get across a park in the middle of the night. He walked fast, until out of nowhere a hooded man came up to him and knocked him out. The next day, Alex went to the closest police station to file a report. When he got there, the police were interrogating 3 suspects, Ben, Michael, and Bernie. The detective gave each of them a marker and asked them to write down their names. As soon as they finished, he arrested the right person. How did the officer know who to arrest? The test wasn't all that random after all. Alex was hit from the right side, so the police were trying to figure out who was left-handed. And among these 3 guys, the only left-handed one is Bernie. On a moonless night, Mary decides to watch a horror movie before going to bed. She passes out on her couch, and the next thing she knows, she wakes up in a haunted castle. She hears screeching sounds and screams all over the place. She walks carefully to the kitchen, where she finds 3 suspicious meals ready to be eaten. Take a look at the plates. Can you help Mary figure out which of these plates is poisoned? So, the French fries look relatively okay. The cake has a spider climbing on top of it. But hey, it's protein, right? But the meat, oh, the meat has a strange liquid coming out of it. That's the one that's probably poisoned. The airport police are having a lot of trouble these days. Many convicts escape prison and are trying to leave the country as fast as they can. Take a look at this image. You gotta figure out ASAP who the fugitive is. It's the lady on the right. Although the woman in the wanted poster is blonde, she must have dyed her hair brown to try to get through security. But her lips and freckles are exactly the same as in the picture. Something weird happened to Johnny's wedding day. He was busy tackling some last-minute problems when he slipped on a banana peel. How comical. He hit his head pretty strongly, but when he woke up, he didn't know where he was. He lost his long and short-term memory, and uh-oh, there were 4 different brides in front of him, but he didn't know who his real bride was. Take a look at the image, and first of all, try to rule out which of these brides is actually life-threatening to Johnny. Did you see the hidden poison jar on that bride? The bride on the left is probably pretty dangerous. He should rule her out first. Jane and Brendan really didn't like each other. They were sharing a flat because they were short on money. What Brendan didn't know is that Jane had some evil plans. She planned on poisoning one of his meals, since she was the one that always prepared the food. One day, she cooked the same piece of meat for both of them. She cut it in half, ate her share, and gave him the other part. After he ate it, he started to feel really bad and was taken to the hospital. The question is, How did Jane manage to survive while Brendan got sick? Jane put poison on one side of the knife, which was the piece she gave Brendan. Take a look at this image. Who do you think is being more careless here? It's the girl on the right. She's almost falling out of the boat. She should move to the middle and help balance the weight. And what about in this image? Who do you think is being irresponsible here? Let's see. It's the person on the right. The snake is too close to her face. It could hurt her, while the crocodile is simply interested in the meal the man is feeding him. An old lady was shopping at the mall when she saw something strange. She looked at a woman all dressed in orange at the cashier and shouted that she was seeing a prisoner that must have just escaped from prison. The woman in orange felt really confused, called the police, and got the old lady kicked out of the mall. What exactly happened here? The woman was dressed in orange overalls. It was just a fashion trend, but the old lady mistook it for prison clothing. In a parallel reality where humans, witches, and all types of beings coexist, Jenny and Lawrence were playing hide and seek. They were inside a huge old mansion. Jenny spent hours looking for her friend until she stepped inside the study. There were footprints up until the middle of the room, and then they disappeared. The only window of the room was open. Take a look at the picture. Can you figure out what happened here? Lawrence was a shapeshifter. This explains why the footprints didn't reach the window. Plus, look at the bird food on the floor. He probably shapeshifted into a bird and escaped. Katie got lost in the desert. She walked for hours when suddenly she came across a huge oasis. But to reach the main waterfall where she could drink some water, she had to cross a bridge. There were 3 bridges leading to the same place. The first bridge was far from the ground, and its rope looked like it could rip at any second. The second bridge had some hungry-looking alligators crawling on it. The last bridge stood above a lake full of poisonous water plants. Which bridge should she choose? The last one. The bridge stands above a poisonous lake, but she won't touch the water when crossing it. A group of friends rented a fancy villa for vacation, right on the seaside. When they arrived, the hostess offered them cake and drinks. They chatted and ate the delicious cake, when suddenly 2 of them started to feel really bad. They were immediately taken to the hospital, and the doctor said they found poison in their bodies. Take a look at the image. How did the other 2 friends survive after eating the cake? That's easy. The poison wasn't in the cake. The poison was on the drinks the hostess served them. If you look closely, the friends that felt sick drank what the hostess offered them, and the others didn't. Oh my! Mark, Bray, and Livia are doing terribly financially. So they walked into a local supermarket looking for the cheapest thing to buy. One of them was planning on stealing something. But hey, can you figure out who just stole something? It was Livia, the little girl. She's hiding something in her shirt pocket. Can you see?
Take a look at these 3 teachers in the school canteen. One of them is a vampire. Can you guess who it is? Check out carefully what they eat. The third lady has some garlic, so she can't be a vampire. The second lady has taken a bite of food from her tray, so it's most likely hers. But the first guy's food is still untouched, so he must be just bringing it to someone else. Vampires don't really need food. They feed on blood, so that salad is of no interest to him. The Smiths family, Ginger, Ross, and their kids, Polly and Bob, had a celebration and exchanged gifts. But somehow, all the cards got lost. And since all the gifts were packed in boxes of the same size, the only thing that differs is color. Can you figure out to whom each gift belongs? Ginger, the mother, must get the gifts in green wrapping paper because her name starts with a G. Ross, the father, gets the gifts wrapped in red paper. Polly, the daughter, gets all the pink ones. And Bob, the son, has all the blue gifts, following the same logic. On a winter day, Mike went skiing. Suddenly, he found a secret laboratory hidden in the mountains. It was well guarded, but curious Mike managed to find an open door. Once he got inside, the door got instantly shut and wouldn't open again. There in the lab, Mike saw 3 large barrels, each with different stuff inside. The first barrel was literally on fire. The second one was full of acid, and there was a working electric saw in the third one. All of a sudden, Mike heard a voice. Each of the barrels contains a key that can set you free, but you aren't allowed to move the barrels. Good luck! What did Mike do to escape? Hey, it seems like this lab wasn't well heated. There were a bunch of icicles on the ceiling, so he grabbed them and threw them into the burning barrel. They melted and extinguished the fire, allowing him to grab the key. Lame Horse is the most popular club in town, and lots of people hope to get inside. However, security guards are pretty strict, and all visitors must comply with a set of requirements issued by the club management. Visitors must be over 25. They must wear a total black look, and their name cannot start with an A. Now, look at these 3 people waiting at the entrance, who cannot be let in. Well, look at their IDs closely. We have Ivory, who's 27. She's also dressed according to the rules. Now, here's James. He's 24, and he's wearing a red t-shirt. Out. The last person is Dylan. He's got a total black look, and it seems like he's 30. But his ID is surely fake. How can someone be born on February 31st? So, only Ivory can enter the club. Josh wanted to surprise his girlfriend and buy her a present of her dreams. But he wanted to make it a surprise, so he couldn't ask her what exactly she wanted. He decided to check out her favorites on a website she always used for online shopping. But her laptop asked for a password. Still, Josh managed to unlock it. How did he do it? Look at the sticker on the desk. It looks like a bunch of misspelled words. But each typo actually helps figure out the password. O in laundry, extra I in table, extra I in mice, V in the word answer, and extra E in the word cat. Altogether, it's olive. Chastity, Chris, and Jacob are at the counter near an airport gate. All of them claim they must be on the flight to Houston. But the airline employee says there's only one seat left. The computer has frozen, and he can't check the list of passengers to verify their claims. So he can only check their boarding passes and try to understand which one is real. Can you help him? The only real boarding pass belongs to Chastity. Look, the one that Chris has mentions his date of birth, which is never printed on boarding passes. The one that Jacob has doesn't have the flight number, which is almost impossible. Well, welcome aboard, Chastity. Liam was traveling on a train where he met Brian. Now, Brian invited him to have coffee in the dining car, and Liam agreed. For some reason, Liam left the train in terror at the next station without taking his belongings, even though it wasn't his destination. Why? The thing is, on the way to the dining car, Liam spotted something he couldn't see while seated. There was a huge tail visible underneath Brian's coat. He couldn't be a human, and having coffee with him could cost Liam his life. Ew. Ashley decided to change her hairstyle and headed to the nearest hair salon. There were 3 hairdressers available. Which one is safe? Look, the first hairdresser has just finished working with the previous client, and the client is literally crying. The hairstyle is horrendous. The second hairdresser has knives instead of special scissors. She doesn't seem to be safe either. However, the third hairdresser seems completely fine. So, Ashley should pick her. Mary is a beginner gardener. She decided to grow some flowers in her garden, and there are already several sprouts. Yesterday, she watered them as usual, but today she sees that all of her sprouts have perished. Why? Mary should have checked the weather forecast. Yesterday, the sky was covered with gray clouds. It was going to rain. So the flowers got a double portion of water, which is bad too. Mary should have covered her plants instead. It was Jenny's first month at her new school. At the end of the month, she found a note from Barry in her locker. At first, she didn't get its meaning, but when she figured out that it was encrypted, the meaning became clear to her. Take a look at the note. Can you figure out what Barry wrote to Jenny? To decipher the note, you need to understand that the numbers correspond to the placement of the letters in the note. The first letter is I, the second is L, and the 8th is K. Now keep doing this until you decipher the whole thing. The note says, I like you. It looks like Jenny has an admirer. Martha is standing on one side of a river and her cat is on the other. Martha is calling her cat, but you know, those guys aren't into water and swimming in general. However, the cat immediately starts crossing the river without getting wet. There are no boats or bridges. How is it possible? The river is frozen, so the cat can just walk on the ice. In 1890, Bart was 15 years old. Strangely, in 1895, he was 10 years old. How is that possible? The thing is, Bart was born in 1905 BCE. The calendar worked the other way around back then. Linda and Porter were walking in the woods when they saw an old hut. They walked inside, but the door through which they entered suddenly vanished into thin air. Instead, 3 new doors appeared in front of them. Behind the first one, there were venomous rats. Behind the second door, arrows with poison on their tips were flying across the room at head height. And the third door hid a 30-foot deep pit. Which door leads to freedom? They should choose the second door. They don't need to walk, they can simply crawl under the arrows. Pamela met a stranger yesterday, and she immediately knew who he was. She hadn't seen this person before, and no one had ever described him to Pamela. This person wasn't a celebrity, and he wasn't doing anything unusual. How come she knew who he was? The man was Pamela's friend's twin brother. Anna went grocery shopping and bought a lot of products that needed to be stored in the fridge, like meat and cheese. When she returned home, she realized that her fridge was already full, and she had nowhere to store all those products. What should she do? Anna needs to reconsider the way she stores stuff in her fridge. For example, rice and cookies don't need to be kept there. Once she takes all the unnecessary stuff out of the fridge, she'll have enough space to store the dairy products and meat. Camilla is packing her bags for her epic trip to Hawaii. She'll be staying in an all-inclusive spa hotel. Is there anything she won't need? This package of coffee beans doesn't belong here. You don't have to make your own coffee at an all-inclusive hotel. Camilla arrives at the airport and meets Noah. He's traveling with his cat, Fluffy. Camilla asks Noah how old the cat is. He replies with a riddle. In 2 years, Fluffy will be twice as old as she was 5 years ago. Can you figure out how old the animal is? Fluffy is 12 years old. On the plane, Camilla sits next to Kai and Mia. After takeoff, the flight attendant brings them identical lunchboxes. Camilla leaves for the toilet. Then she returns and finds out that her bun is gone. One of her neighbors stole it. Can you guess who? Kai has an untouched bun in his lunchbox, but there's another hidden up his sleeve. Shame on you, Kai! Camilla lands in Hawaii and arrives at her hotel. There are 3 ladies in the lobby. 2 of them are millionaires. Can you spot the one who's not? The second lady's phone is too outdated, so she can't be super rich. Camilla goes to the swimming pool area and meets 2 couples. One of them has 3 sons. Can you guess which couple? The first one. Take a look at his tattoos. There are 3 suns on his hand. Each sun symbolizes one of his sons. Time to check out the spa. Camilla looks out the window and spots these 2 scenes. One of the clients is in danger. Can you guess who? Although it looks weird, there's nothing wrong with the first scene. It's just the skin reacting to the heat. But take a look at the second scene. The size of the needles is too big. They should be way smaller. Camilla makes an appointment for a massage. She can be serviced by one of these 3 employees, but one of them is not a safe choice. Can you figure out who? The third lady is dangerous. Her nails are too long and sharp to perform a massage. The massage session is over. Camilla goes to the pedicure room. She sees 3 innocent-looking clients chatting and laughing, but one of them is a werewolf. Can you guess who? It's the second lady. Take a look at her glowing wolf eyes. Ooh. The pedicure is done. It's time to check out the sauna. Camilla leaves her expensive slippers on the porch and enters the hot space. 5 minutes later, she begins to feel that it's time to leave. Oh no! Someone stole her slippers. Camilla questions 3 ladies nearby. Bianca says that she spent the last 30 minutes inside the sauna, so she couldn't see what was going on outside. Kelly is barefoot, but she swears that she didn't touch Camilla's stuff. And Nina says she's too squeamish to touch other people's shoes. Who's lying? Bianca. Take a look at the sign. Guests are not allowed to spend more than 15 minutes in the sauna, so her story is fake. Camilla goes to the shower area, but she's facing another prank. Someone steals her towel while she's bathing. Camilla questions 3 people. Kelly says she was blow-drying her hair, so she didn't hear or see anything. Nina says she was on the phone with her boyfriend, and she didn't have time to steal other people's clothes. And Cindy is a cleaning lady. She was washing the floors, and she didn't touch the guest stuff. So, who's lying? Kelly's story is fake. Her hair isn't dry. In the evening, Camilla goes to the local restaurant. Suddenly, she spots a curious family in the dining area. One of these guys is a real ghost. Can you figure out who? This spooky guy has a transparent arm. Surprisingly, Camilla meets her college friends who are vacationing in the same hotel. They haven't seen each other for 10 years. So the guys throw a fancy private party. Camilla has to make a phone call. She walks outside in the middle of the party. In a couple of minutes, she comes back and sees her friend Mike lying unconscious on the floor. He has a weird mark on his neck. It looks like a vampire's bite. One of Camilla's college fellows must have turned into a vampire. The next day, she invites everyone for a beach picnic to talk about Mike. How can Camilla figure out the vampire? She invited her friends to the beach during the daytime. The one who would refuse to go must be the vampire. Camilla is hanging out on the beach. She takes a pretty picture, and then another one. She looks at the resulting shots and spots 5 differences. Can you also see them? Here they are. Camilla builds a beautiful sandcastle. Suddenly, she smells a fresh smoothie from the beach cafe. She goes there to get a drink. 5 minutes later, Camilla returns to her castle spot. Oh no, someone ruined it. Camilla questions 3 people nearby. Bill says he was scrolling his phone, so he didn't look around. Rachel was taking pictures of her daughter Anna. She shows Camilla the pictures as evidence. And Anna confirms Rachel's words. They were too busy taking pictures. After hearing their stories, Camilla knows for sure who's guilty. What about you? Take a closer look at Rachel's pictures. Anna stands in the same place where the castle used to be. She destroyed it with her surfboard. Camilla takes a walk on the beach and spots a beautiful wedding ceremony. Can you figure out which one of these ladies is his wife? It's the first lady. They have identical tattoos. In the hotel restaurant, Camilla spots another touching scene. Two guys are proposing to one lady, and she accepts one of their proposals. Can you figure out her new fiancé? It's the first guy. Take a look at the wall poster. The second guy is a runaway criminal. Camilla returns to her room and finds a huge basket with flowers and candies. There's also a note with the following text. Camilla questions 3 possible witnesses. Her neighbor Kyle says that he spent all day by the pool. Andy, the janitor, says he cleaned her room in the morning and he didn't notice any gift baskets. Diego, the manager, says he didn't get any special deliveries for her room. Can you help Camilla figure out her secret admirer? It's Kyle. If we read this text backwards, we'll get the following message. Your secret admirer is Kyle. Well, that's a clue. Kyle invites Camilla on a date to a rooftop restaurant. The view is beautiful, so she takes 2 pictures. Can you spot 5 differences between them? One, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There you go. Kyle and Camilla look at the menu and choose the same dish, spaghetti carbonara. Soon the guys get their food and begin to eat. Suddenly, Kyle gets sick and faints, but Camilla feels fine. But they ate the same dish. Can you explain this mystery? The poison was in the black pepper. Kyle added it to his spaghetti, but Camilla didn't. That's why she feels fine. The next day, Camilla visits Kyle in the hospital. She comes across these 2 individual patients. Can you guess which of them is richer? The second patient. He has an air conditioner, Wi-Fi, and an expensive laptop in his ward. What about these 2 patients? Can you guess who's richer? The first lady has a couple of really expensive brands on her shelf. Therefore, she's the rich one. Camilla continues wandering around the hospital and finds a spooky basement. Can you spot anything odd here? This place must be haunted. Look at this old mop. It moves on its own. She finds a door with a combination lock. Luckily, there's also a note with a hint. Camilla tries to enter this code, but it doesn't work. She needs a 6-digit combination. Can you help her crack this code? Camilla should literally enter 2831 and 26, and now she can make her great escape.